everybody. Welcome in. Welcome to Saturday evening or late afternoon. I do not know what's going on about sticking things in the games, but I do not know what's going on with Mrs. Handy J today. I have tried to troubleshoot it. I may have to reach out to Wayne to see what I'm doing wrong, because it's OBS is not responding at all to Mrs. Handy J, and neither is the channel rewards. I love those videos too. They're very fun. Thank you everyone for thank you Mike. Everyone, Mike. Who else but Mike? Who else but Mike is everyone? Thanks for the support today. Thank you for the good wishes for Wink. She was like a pro, and she's like they were going too slow for her in some places, and she was literally running up the trunk of people in front of us. But got some cool toys. Got a cool spinner. Got a bunch of. I even got like one of these popping. Sensory, lots of different sensory tools and stuff like that. It definitely was a fun day, and had a good time, and actually had a couple more people on our team than I expected to have going into it 6 months ago. Well, we signed up for it in July. But definitely, hey Kitty, welcome in. Definitely would have been a good place for you, Kitty, to have like checked out, or if you find one in your local area, the autism support for neurodivergent. They have a lot of neurodivergent stuff as well as autism there. And got a lot of really cool sensory toys and spinners and flickers and buttons to pop, and just a slew of good support and other things for people with autism. I think my daughter said she wrote most of that message I post to Discord, but you guys got to see the whole group. I didn't care. You've seen me many times. You've seen Chad. My daughters are in there, but so friggin' happy and so proud of you guys. Thank you, Mike, for saying that. Really, thank you. It means so much. It's good to know that, we started this journey in March. My youngest daughter reminded me that we started it in March, when she made the comment to Winkers that the autism walk that Denver does an autism walk, and maybe we should do it this year. And because before that, we couldn't get her to walk. We couldn't get her to move most of the time. She did not like to do it. And she had a goal. And now the goal's been met. So it's like we were pulling into the driveway, and I said, "Who wants to go for a walk?" And Chad goes, "Good luck with that, Mel. Enjoy. You're on your own." We got 10,000 plus steps. So what they was really neat about the walk is it was walking around a lake, and they marked how many they marked when you reached the 1 mile, so you knew when it was coming up. You're like quitters. I know. Seriously, what's wrong with those quitters, huh? We're a quarter of a mile to 5 miles. Literally. All we got to do is a quarter more mile. Come on, people, you slackers. But I don't think my feet will cooperate. I'm 90% sure my feet will say no. They'll stay here at the house and let me crawl on my knees all the way around the blocks. Anyway, But it was really cool because it was surrounding a lake. This walk path was surrounding a lake, and it was beautiful scene. And I don't think you guys can grasp that in the picture I shared. But the mountains were in the background, and you couldn't ask for a better day. They had. They at least had about 100 vendors of different tents there for all ages of like autism groups or neurodivergent groups or something like that, supports. But unfortunately, and I think a lot of us older people find there's not a lot of support for neurodivergent adults. And I was looking specifically for a sensory gym for winkers, because taking winkers to a standard gym isn't a good thing. It's not ever going to be a good day. And so where is that? So we did find a gym nearby that actually does it is specifically for people who have autism or are neurodivergent. The thing they're missing and what we're trying to find is the swimming pool, because you have to work with people like Whitney on the level in which they understand. And one of the things that Whitney understands is swimming. So we got to do the thing she likes. Whitney said, "Get good." Did she really, Chad? Because Whitney's never said good ever. She doesn't say "don't die." She says, "Show me your wiener," or something like that. Ask me about my wiener. Freaking Chad. Can't live with him. I can't take him. Oh, never mind. Hi, babe.
Hi. Hey, Mike.
So anyway, I definitely was looking to try to find a sensory gym for winkers, and it's really a challenge.
Yeah. We made it at the 5K. Winks was definitely pushed afterwards.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She's really tired. It's nearly impossible to even get diagnosed as an adult. I can't imagine being higher on the spectrum and having more specific needs and such.
Yeah. There were some nice services there.
They had some autism assessment services there. It wasn't a piece of cake for Chad. He was kind of hanging back.
I was okay. Actually, the funnier thing is, the younger people that, more like in their later 20s, they were kind of griping, oh, I should have stretched first.
Yeah, pushing it, huh? But us older ones, we were just shrugging it right along. I had to try to keep Whitney from running up the rear end of people.
Yeah. Did okay. I think the biggest thing is that we were didn't walk as much over the last month and a half,
which was unfortunate because I got sick with pneumonia, and not exactly the most recommended thing to go for a walk when you're sick with pneumonia. But I'm back to what Kitty said, because I think that's really important to recognize that it is really hard to go and get the diagnoses when you're an adult. It's so much more, all the supports, everything nowadays is really for the kids. And so I would go up to booths and people oh, we got, this and this for, ages, 14 to 17. And I finally looked at someone and I said, "How old do you think she is?" And she said, "Oh, I don't know. Just tell me, how old is she?" And I gave her age. And she was like, "Yeah, we're not going to be able to help you." You didn't have to tell me. I kind of already knew it. And I started sharing, that when when it was Wink and she was at school age, that that we couldn't find very much support. We couldn't even get support from the schools. Schools did not want to give the MR rating. That was the closest that they would give. They would not give autism. They did not, because if they did, then they'd have to offer more support of things that she, that she probably could have used all along that they never did. But some of it is just so constantly developing that they don't know, right? I'm something high functioning, yes, but the more I connect with people online, the more I realize I connect with people that are neurodivergent than normies. I would say Winkers is definitely neurodivergent. And I go to say that a lot of people have a lot of traits of neurodivergent and autism and or any other comorbidity type of diagnoses that the doctors will give you: ODD, ADD, ADHD, you name it. And you tried to get assessed, but especially they just assumed if it wasn't caught in childhood or you didn't have a strong developmental delay or you just weren't. And that's not right? That's not true. They even had this, I found this one to be interesting, and I don't know how this affects you, the strong noises. They had an emergency kit for when someone with autism is encountered with emergency vehicles. Bright lights, loud noises, lots of flashing, lots of overstimulation. And so inside the kit was head canceling noise reduction headsets, a blanket, and a bunch of anything that would help someone who has autism or is neurodivergent in dealing with that kind of noise. I remember in grade 6, though, my teacher actually tried to get parents to have me assessed, but to my knowledge, they didn't. And often, and I will say this, that it is really emotionally difficult to admit or go and get the rating, especially if you have a spouse who does not want to hear it, right? I don't need that for me. It's more like a lot of small things. I need to touch everything. I love textures, especially natural textures. And it's possible. And I'm also very much a fidgeter. I'm always about touching things and stuff. Yeah, that too.
Little Muppet boy.
My little, so tons of swag, tons of this stuff, and I think, I think it's more common. It wasn't as well known when I was a kid, and they certainly didn't. And if you were autistic, that's the other thing that we ran into with Winkers. They only knew of one form of autism, and that's the one where you are an idiot savant. So you're Beethoven, or you've got you're socially dysfunctional, and yet you have one special gift. And that was the mindset of when Whitney was in school. They were like, oh no, she doesn't have autism. She's not like that. She doesn't have a special talent. She's not the next Einstein. That they would tell me that over and over again. And little by little, ever since, I have learned that autism on the spectrum is all over the map. But also, like so many things, time doesn't work in my head. I don't like social systems. I don't like touching outside people I'm really close to. I'm always more into talking to teachers in my elementary school than my peers. And I tried to write an encyclopedia. I was like in grade 4, just for fun. It was animals. That's really cool. I would just begin, I would say, once again, don't ever let someone tell you you're not special in some way. You know, we don't, to the most part, we just treat Wink as normal, and we, you know, as what we perceive as normal. But Wink is never going to get married. She's never going to have children. She's never going to have a driver's license.
Never going to eat cat food.
She won't be eating cat food. She, you know, there's just another thing. ASD community seems to be accepting of self-diagnosis. And I was one time, somebody told me, you know what you are more than any test or any doctor or anything. You know what you're capable of. You know what you're comfortable with. And if you are self-aware, then life will go a lot smoother for you than, say, someone who doesn't know anything. You know, with Wink, we have to explain every step of the way. In fact, I got this wonderful hand washing sign at one of the booths, and I was so thrilled because it can go on the wall in her bathroom, which is where I'm going to put it. But it says, you know, this is for hand washing. Get some soap, turn on the water, turn off the water, wipe your hands. You know, gives every single step. And she needs that in her life. It doesn't matter. Only reason I'd ever want to do something official is I was working, I could get accommodations, and that is true. ADA requirements are that they have to accommodate for anyone with a disability of any sort. When I fell down the steps last year, I had to go get an ADA in order to work remotely from home. Now, it was defunct. It didn't matter because in a couple months, the company was sold off to a different company, and they are 100% work from home. But at the time, that wasn't the way it was. So I had to go get the ADA, take it to my doctor fill it out, send it to the company. It got approved. It got extended. They had to go again. It got extended. If I can step with the home stuff, and keep in mind so we can watch a kid, Muck's apparently assumed I was before I even consider it, so he's fine either way. And you probably, I mean, you could tell, right? You could tell when someone is a little different, like less like social scenes and less, you know, stuff. And I would say it's good to know you and what you are willing to accept and what you won't accept. In life. And but I do think that if you get a chance to go check out one of these, they do them in a lot of different cities. So check out your Autism Awareness Day, or your local. Hold on, I'm losing my mind. What am I doing here? Okay. Yeah. What am I doing here? There we go. Plus, chances are, if you are, your son is, or to a certain degree. And that's okay too, you know? Because I think the thing is, more than ever, when people are able to identify, it makes life a little bit less, you know, less complicated. All right, we're going to try to go in now. So anyway, thank you for sharing, and thanks for listening. Thanks for all the support from the community on the Autism Walk and stuff like that, listening to my stories for the last. The next big goal is Autism Walk, Colorado Springs next year. That's our next big goal. The challenges for her, different place, elevation, and just, you know, a slew of things. But my wife feels with the addition of ADD, I have a form of ADHD. ADHD, a mild form of autism, and neurodivergent. Your wife is probably right. As I said before, we know when, the teacher told me, like I said, probably the wisest thing, there were 2 or 3 really wise things that the guidance counselor, when we're talking, Wink is now 5 years old, and they had her do some testing at the school, and they came back and they said she was 30% disabled and borderline mild retarded, and they weren't talking autism because the school, like I told you before, if they admitted the autism part of it, they would have had to provide her with a different set of standards. So they never, and they just never, we didn't have the classifications. You didn't have there are so many different forms of autism. It isn't just one set. And like I said, mentally, a lot of people back then felt that if you did not have the idiot savant, which was me, what you would call the Einsteins, the intelligent ones, the ones, she may have some type of that, but we haven't found it yet. We haven't found out what it is. Like, some people play the violin, right? And that's their sole focus. I had a nephew who was all about Lego blocks and building, and had to have every single set of Lego blocks, and the world wrapped around Lego blocks in the room and everything, even as an adult. And so, that's his idiot savant. And perhaps there is something there, perhaps there is some type of idiot savant and for her, and we just have never been able to find it yet. So the school said, oh, well, she doesn't have those tendencies, so she couldn't possibly have autism. That was when Winkers was 5. But since then, they have found many levels of autism and where people stand. Some people are nonverbal. Some people are verbal. Some people are high functioning. Some people are low functioning. Some people have to have headsets on all the time. Some people don't need them but once in a while. And so, I don't even use the term normal anymore because I don't know what normal is. Every one of my kids had some form of it. So, maybe it's the Kool-Aid I fed them as kids. I don't know. Maybe it was our diet. Maybe it was their environment. Maybe it was the divorces. Maybe it was, it could be any slew of things. But everybody has some form of autism in some form. And they have to start accommodating for that. So it's like one of those things where, if you have the rating, and as an adult getting that, Jacksepticeye got tested. Now he's in the UK. He got tested for ADHD, ADD, right? And surprise, he has it. And it wasn't a surprise to me because we were like, yeah, he has it. He's a classic case of it. But it is possible to get tested. Here's how. Your psychologist, your psychiatrist, not who can recommend you go to a testing center. The testing centers are never convenient for most people. I told Chet I thought about this, and I said, how difficult would it be if someone lived in a very small town, like rural Kansas, out in the middle of nowhere, and they have no supports. They have nothing. And how difficult that would be, right? So if your town, if you have that ability, right? You have that ability to get tested and you want to know, and maybe you want to know just like what Kitty said, you want to know for work accommodations. Then, then there are centers out there. But if you're in rural America or rural wherever, you may have to travel to go get that kind of test. And then whether or not it's accurate is another really questionable thing. Yes, is it accurate, Mike? And do you really want to know? Would it change anything? Okay. And that's kind of like the mentality there as well. It's like, do you really want to know? And would it change anything? I think it's wonderful that they do have things. I was talking about like the fact that they have these emergency kits. And I can totally see, like, why they're really important. If there's any trigger that will send Wink off the deep end, it's an ambulance. The minute she hears an ambulance, okay, isn't the tower here? The minute she says she hears an ambulance, she's panicking. Okay, you can't come in without permission. Okay, that's the castle, but that's not the tower. Where's the tower? Yeah, so she hears it, she panics. It's the sounds, it's the thought of going to the hospital. She associates that with trauma. Oh, my dearest, I wondered if we'd meet again. Did I help you? Varen is at the very top of the Black Tower. And if I only knew where the Black Tower was, we'd be off and running. But unfortunately, I don't know where the Black Tower is. And at this point, should I be trying to find the last few hearts? That was another thing. But yeah, there's a lot, Mike. There's a lot I don't share, I don't talk about with anybody. It doesn't mean like I don't care or anything. It's just mainly because I'm not sure how many people really want to hear the realities of all this. We have seen a lot in the amount of years that we've been dealing with this. And you could see that Winkers is no spring chicken. So we have seen a lot. And there's never been an advocate stronger than me and Chad for Winkers. Whoops. Okay, we were trying to do a Gale seed. We honestly do not know which one of these is the Black Tower. We also have places we didn't go. We might not be able to go there, and maybe that's why we never went. You know the drill. Get there fast, one wins. Ready, go. Okay, that's Rolling Ridge. I can't imagine that be where we need to go. Ambi's Palace. This is where we want to go. Anyway. Oh, see, that's the guards again. Oh, I bet we just have to go through the bottom like we did, huh? No, that's going through the front door. We can't get through the front door. Oh shit. Keep doing the wrong thing because we have the wrong thing on here. Go back. Let's get this off. Can you lift those up now? Anyway, so I didn't mean to bore the chat with all that, but I do think it's important to talk about these kind of things, and there are, you know, more of us than there are of there are more of us out there than we know, and you're never really alone in this. I think the important thing is, like, if you want that, if you're trying to get that rating, how is it going to help you? And, you know, I think if anything, you might want the medicine that's involved to help you. Because it's damn near impossible for adults. And they certainly don't want to hear it. It would bring you some solace. It would bring you some, I'm not crazy. I'm only act like it. No! You effer! Not you, Mike. You effer! I get it. There is peace in knowing, like, what's going on with my mind. And why do I think a certain way? Why do I feel a certain way about things? Why do some things... I mean, the thing with Wink is like, why does certain noises affect Wink? Why... But this is from day one. Day one, she would... You know, she was all about texture. And she was... And then things have come over time, like completely over time. Okay. Okay, so I'm wondering how we're getting in there, or what, if that's something we need to do. Because I don't know, but I get that. If it's going to bring you peace, and that was what it was for Jacksepticeye. He wanted to know, why did he feel this way? Why did, you know, why couldn't he concentrate? Okay, maybe it's this room then. Okay, so I'd probably get past the guards. Oh shit. Oops. It was supposed to be getting past the guards, not like being in their vocal point. Oh, there is something there. Nope, he caught us. I'm gonna kick your asses. I don't care. Get out of here. I'm killing guards now. I don't care. I don't give a damn. I got a ring. Get it appraised. Dang it. Later. I wonder what that... Okay, so maybe that ring is important. Like, maybe that ring is what I absolutely need for this dungeon, and I didn't even go get it the first time. Knowing that, let's just sheboygan. Goodbye. Kick us out. I don't care. Hi. Hi! You can't be in here. And we're taking some of your hearts, you slacker. Alright, well then, by all means, let's do a gale seed and do a ring. Thank goodness I didn't have the ring on me, otherwise that girl would have stole it. Not gale seed. How about Harp of Ages? But I also want to say there was a lot of people there today. A lot. Oh, no. No, I want to go back in time. I wanted to stay in the present. If I really wanted to stay in the present, why didn't I stop messing around with the damn horn? All right, perhaps put the sword back on so we could actually, I don't know, shoot things and get some more hearts, because I like being long and strong. I like being long and strong. You have some ring to appraise. What can I do for you? Appraise the ring, yay. All right, praise it. It's 20 rupees, please. I see, I'll call this the Gold Luck Ring. Half damage from falls. Oops, that's what that ring is, and I'll add it to your list. All right, so that ring was okay. It didn't do much for us, though. Okay, well, we wouldn't have known, right? We wouldn't have known unless we gave it a try. We had to give it a try, and now we can go back in time. And we can sneak as soon as we dig up the grass. That's the other thing. Mike calls it solace. I call it just knowing I'm not so crazy after all. You know, that there's a reason I feel this way. There's a reason why any of us feels this way. And that in itself can bring a lot of peace. So I get that. I'm not so sure we can go. Okay, this is a different time. Oh my God, just let me have. Okay, you know what? This is fine. This is fine. I just want to dig and get my heart pieces back real quick. Give me back my heart pieces. Heart pieces, heart pieces. Give them back, give them back, give them back, you quack-a-doodle. There we go. So I think I'm not positive that I am doing the right thing, but I think this is the way. We got to go in this way. Yeah, how else are we going to go to Ambi's tower? Isn't this where we're supposed to be? I have no idea. They talked about it being at the top of the map, but I don't feel like... Oh, Go back. I don't feel like... Okay, I'm just trying to get out of here. I mean, that is the top of the map underneath, so it must be right? Okay. So let's go with it. But yeah, there was a lot of people on that walk. There were kids of every age, size, dogs, lots of dogs.
It's Dungeon 9.
This is the Black Tower, so it's not really a dungeon, it's more of a place. But I just got a ring, and so I wasn't sure if I should have it appraised, so I went and had it appraised.
Is it a mood ring?
Mmm.
Well, how are you supposed to get out of this? Good question.
Did I find the dungeon map here? Okay, so short of not knowing where I'm going, now we got It's kicking me out, kicking me out.
Did they hurt? Oh, they hurt you.
Oh, they hurt you big
Not
time.
like long ass.
Yeah, no, they hurt you. There's no not hurting you. Okay, so in retrospect, I think we gotta go the other direction. I gotta make that left turn instead of a right one. This is not good. Oh God, that was lucky. Shut up. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy, this is the big one because this is the one that makes it really difficult. Get away from me, Asterix. I know there's a thing up here. There's a... Okay, where's the ferry? Because it was here. Well, that's all well and good, but I would mind some healing. Okay, there we go. So, here we are again. Are we supposed to be here? Okay, we've got the power glove. Is that something we pull? So Mike, how is today going? How are things on Saturday? And you said you do have to work tomorrow, unfortunately. Yeah, this is a great track right here. Okay, see, now I'm confused because I am in the Ambi's Palace, but I might not even need to be here, maybe? Dang. Well, and that makes sense, right? Because it's in a palace. Okay, Ambi's Tower is, well, they call Ambi's Tower the final dungeon. Where are we supposed to go? Okay, so you're working today and you will have tomorrow off. Well, yay, that's good news. Mike, I will be right back. I promise. I mean, put the mic on mute but I promise to be right back. So right now, oh God, the guy's not dead! He's not dead! Leon, he's not dead, he's not dead, he's not dead! Leon, he's gonna lick us! Okay. He's not gonna lick us, Leon. Okay? But he will lick us if we're not careful. So let me go here. Too funny.
Oops. Whoops.
That's way too soon. Chad, really? Why did you go back in that room?
Wrong way.
Is there more chickens here? Chicken, chicken, chickens. Guess not. Guess not. Oh, yes, there is. Hello, friends. Whoa, shit! It's Zelda all over again. Oh no, big bear! Big bear, big.
So how is Spit Bearer is such a cute little game? Okay, I don't know what Spirit. Sorry, not Spirit. Spit. Spirit. Is such a cute little game. I don't know anything about that game. Never heard of it. What's it like?
Oh, this is run. Ooh, there's a CD back
Oh,
here.
look at you there. You're playing Mario.
Deep five.
I wish Friday is noon. Gotcha. Man, I wish. Thank you so much, Zollygot, for following. Man, I wish there was I wish I had that life, right? Oma, thank you so much for following Zollygot. Oma from the A-Man. Hello, Miss. Okay, so we are not where we need to be. We're gonna be where we're at. Toot. I forgot where this person is. I still have some seeds too. Maybe we should just do that instead. Maybe go someplace where we can put in some seeds. Because there are some rings that will help you in this game. There are things that can help you in this game if you let it. So it will. Oh, Lord. Get out of here and just get caught. Or be skillful and or whack the police. Must have been a figment of my imagination. Couldn't possibly be that. Let me out. I'm leaving. You caught me. Threw my butt out. Thank you. All right. so it can't come in there without permission. We gotta find some soft dirt. Always soft dirt. I know what to do. We use the gale seeds. Oh, hold on. That's where I wanted, I think. No, that's Zora Village. No, that's Zora Village. Oh, that was Zora Village. Maybe it's the time. Okay, that's probably it, right? I want to get over to the Tokay Village and, yeah, I don't know where another one of those soft dirts are. What is this? Okay, this is South Shore. Let's just warp over to the South Shore. And we'll go down. We probably need our sword. Dig for a minute. That's all I wanted right there. It happened quick. Okay, and then get out and let's go over here. Because we can totally swim through here now. I could have swore there's some place we can go to get a heart too. I am Cheval. I am researching items for use in the water. Before I die, I want to finish my work on flippers for swimming and rope that won't decay in water. I hope to aid all the people of the world by inventing such things. Well, dude, you did. You're happy. You should be happy to hear it, right? You did. You did it. Guess we can't go there anyway. So we've done that part, and that is a thing. Let's go. Let's see. Cheval's house. Okay. Right, so there's this. But that's pretty much the village. Hey, AC. Just got back from the autism walk for Winkers. Lina Village. We did a 5K. Me and Wink and Chad. Okay. Well, here we just need to use Rock's Feather, right? An autism walk. So walked around, for 5K or 3.1 miles. This is 5K. Woo. For autism awareness. Hence why I'm wearing a t-shirt, but this is why Wink and I have been prepping and planning for this for the last 6 months. Weather is beautiful. Oh, you couldn't ask for a prettier day. You literally really couldn't. Okay, Rolling Ridges Base, Lina Village. And then there's the water here. So how was your day? It's a very beautiful, almost fall-like day. Yeah, I'm not so sure there's anything here. Ah, what fun! I don't even want to think about any broken swords, you know. No, I mean, I have the power to fix anything, so I have to do it. Yeah, okay, but what? Ah, it's horrible today and you wanted to go shopping? Can you fix those broken vases I just broke in your house because you're not being cooperative? Alright, I'm looking for soft dirt. Before we go to the dungeon, I want to make sure... Ah, damn. Can we go under the water? Safer to travel under the water and avoid the Zoras. You know what I don't understand about the Zoras, to tell you the truth, is like, what the hey? Because, and you want flapjack, cider, and a haircut. Asshole. Get out of here. Okay, you see there's this. I think there's a fairy here. No, this is the, no, I'm not doing this. This is the I'm not doing this part of the game. Jerks. I had really cool and lots of hearts until you, effer. And as soon as I have hearts back, guess who's getting theirs? Alright? You're getting yours, buddy. Did you get all your hair cut, or did you just get a hair? Fucking ropes! Drop the